Sister Mary of the Holy Cross lay motionless on the cold stone floor of the convent's chapel. Her breathing was shallow, her skin pale and clammy. The other sisters gathered around her, their faces etched with concern and fear. They had found her like this after hearing a terrible crash from the chapel, and they had quickly realized that something was terribly wrong. Mary had always been different from the other sisters. She was a seeker of knowledge and truth, always questioning the world around her and striving to understand the deeper mysteries of faith. Her curiosity often led her to the ancient texts and forbidden scrolls hidden away in the convent's library. The other sisters would occasionally whisper about her, calling her the rebel nun behind her back, but Mary paid them no mind. She was on a quest for something greater, something she couldn't yet define. As she lay on the chapel floor, Mary felt an overwhelming sensation of peace wash over her. She knew she was teetering on the edge of life and death, but instead of fear, she felt an inexplicable sense of acceptance. Her vision blurred, and a gentle warmth enveloped her like a soft embrace. In that moment, she knew she was not alone. A figure emerged from the shadows, shrouded in a soft, ethereal glow. It was an angel, with wings of shimmering light and eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of the ages. The angel's presence filled the chapel with an otherworldly serenity, and Mary felt her spirit being lifted from her body. "Fear not, Sister Mary," the angel spoke, its voice like a melody of divine comfort. "You are being granted a glimpse into the future, a vision of what is to come. The fate of the Catholic Church rests in your hands." Mary's spirit was transported through a swirling vortex of light, and she found herself standing in a grand cathedral, unlike any she had ever seen. The year was 2025, and the world had changed in ways she could scarcely comprehend. The once vibrant and steadfast institution of the Catholic Church was now a shadow of its former self, plagued by scandals, dwindling congregations, and a crisis of faith that threatened to tear it apart. The angel stood beside her, guiding her through the corridors of the cathedral, revealing the fate of the church piece by piece. Mary saw the faces of the faithful, their eyes filled with doubt and disillusionment. She heard the whispers of betrayal and corruption, the cries for reform and renewal. But amidst the darkness there was also hope. Mary saw pockets of light, where dedicated believers worked tirelessly to restore the church's integrity and mission. She saw communities coming together, bound by love and compassion, determined to heal the wounds of the past and build a brighter future. The angel turned to her, its eyes filled with a gentle sorrow. "The path ahead will be difficult, and the challenge is immense, but you have been chosen to be a beacon of hope, to lead the way toward redemption and renewal. Remember, Sister Mary, that even in the darkest of times, the light of faith can never be extinguished." As the vision began to fade, Mary felt herself being drawn back to her body, the warmth of the angel's presence lingering like a comforting embrace. She awoke with a gasp, her eyes fluttering open to the concerned faces of her fellow sisters. "Sister Mary, are you all right?" one of them asked, her voice trembling with worry. Mary took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her experience settle into her bones. She knew that she had been given a great gift and a great responsibility. The fate of the church was in her hands, and she would not falter. "I am all right," she replied, her voice steady and resolute. "But there is much work to be done. The future of the church depends on us all. Let us begin." The sisters exchanged glances, their uncertainty melting away in the face of Mary's newfound determination. They knew that whatever lay ahead, they would face it together, guided by faith and the unwavering belief that even in the darkest of times, there was always hope. And so Sister Mary of the Holy Cross began her journey, not just for herself but for the countless souls who looked to the church for guidance and salvation. She would uncover the truths hidden in the shadows, confront the darkness that threatened to consume them, and lead the way toward a future where the light of faith would shine brighter than ever before. Sister Mary of the Holy Cross could hardly sleep that night. The vision from the angel had imprinted itself into her very soul, and the weight of her mission pressed heavily on her mind. As dawn broke and the first rays of sunlight filtered through the stained glass windows of the convent, she knew it was time to begin her journey. She walked through the quiet halls of the convent, her footsteps echoing softly against the stone walls. Her fellow sisters were already at their morning prayers, their voices rising in unison like a hymn of hope. Mary paused for a moment, listening to their words, drawing strength from their faith. With a determined heart, she made her way to the library, a sanctuary of ancient knowledge and forgotten wisdom. The dusty tomes and fragile scrolls held secrets that had been hidden for centuries, and Mary knew that within their pages lay the answers she sought. She began her search with fervor, poring over the texts, decoding cryptic passages, and piecing together fragments of history. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months, as Mary delved deeper into the mysteries of the Church. She discovered forgotten prophecies, accounts of saints and martyrs, and the hidden machinations of those who sought power and control. One evening, as she sifted through a particularly ancient manuscript, Mary stumbled upon a passage that sent chills down her spine. It spoke of a great schism, a rift that would divide the Church and lead to its downfall. The prophecy was clear. The Church would face a crisis of faith unlike any it had ever encountered, and only a true believer, guided by divine insight, could save it. Mary's heart raced as she realized the gravity of her task. The vision she had been granted was no mere coincidence. It was a call to action, a divine mandate to restore the Church to its former glory. She knew that she could not do it alone, and that she needed allies who shared her dedication to the truth. She sought out Father Michael, a wise and respected priest known for his unwavering faith and deep understanding of theology. Mary had always admired his humility and compassion, and she felt certain that he would be a valuable ally in her quest. "Father Michael," she began, her voice trembling with urgency, "I need your help. I have been shown a vision of the future, and I believe the fate of the Church depends on us. We must uncover the truth and guide the faithful through the darkness that lies ahead." Father Michael listened intently, his eyes filled with a mixture of concern and curiosity. He had always sensed that Mary was destined for something greater, and her words resonated deeply within him. "Sister Mary," he replied, his voice steady and reassuring, "I believe you. The Church is indeed facing a crisis, and it is our duty to protect the faith and lead the way toward renewal. Together we will find the answers we seek and bring light to the shadows." With Father Michael's support, Mary began to reach out to others who shared their vision. They formed a small but dedicated group, a fellowship of believers who were committed to the restoration of the Church. Their meetings were held in secret, their discussions filled with fervent debates and passionate prayers. As they delved deeper into their mission, they uncovered startling revelations about the inner workings of the Church. Corruption, betrayal, and greed had taken root at the highest levels, threatening to undermine the very foundation of their faith. But amidst the darkness, they also found glimmers of hope, stories of unsung heroes who had remained steadfast in their devotion, even in the face of adversity. Mary's journey was far from over. She knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges and dangers, but she was resolute in her purpose. The vision of the future had given her the strength and determination to fight for what she believed in, and she would not waver in her quest. As she stood in the chapel one evening, the flickering candlelight casting shadows on the walls, Mary felt a profound sense of peace. She knew that she was not alone, that she was guided by a higher power, and that the light of faith would always prevail, even in the darkest of times. The echoes of truth reverberated within her soul, and she knew that the journey she had embarked upon was just the beginning. The fate of the Church rested in her hands, and she was ready to face whatever lay ahead. With unwavering faith and the support of her newfound allies, Sister Mary of the Holy Cross would lead the way toward redemption and renewal, shining a light that would guide the faithful through the shadows of uncertainty and into a future filled with hope. As the weeks turned into months, Sister Mary of the Holy Cross and her allies worked tirelessly to unravel the tangled web of corruption and deceit that had ensnared the Church. Their quest for truth took them to the farthest corners of the world, from the bustling streets of Rome to the remote monasteries hidden in the mountains. Each step brought them closer to understanding the true extent of the crisis, and each discovery only strengthened their resolve. Father Michael proved to be an invaluable companion on this journey. His deep knowledge of theology and history provided crucial insights, and his calm demeanor served as a steadying force for the group. Together, they uncovered documents and testimonies that revealed a systematic erosion of the church's principles, orchestrated by those who sought to exploit its power for their own gain. One evening, as they gathered in a small, dimly lit room in a hidden sanctuary, Father Michael laid out a series of ancient scrolls before the group. The scrolls were fragile and worn, their edges frayed from centuries of handling. They contained the writings of a long-forgotten saint, a visionary who had foreseen the very crisis they now faced. The writings of St. Anselm, Father Michael explained, his voice hushed with reverence. He spoke of a time when the church would be tested, when the faithful would be called upon to restore its integrity. His words are a guide for us, a beacon of hope in these troubled times. As they pored over the scrolls, Mary felt a sense of awe and wonder. St. Anselm's words were filled with wisdom and clarity, and they resonated deeply within her. She knew that their mission was not just a fight against corruption, but a spiritual journey to reclaim the true essence of their faith. But their quest was not without its dangers. As they delved deeper into the secrets of the church, they began to attract the attention of powerful adversaries. Those who stood to lose the most from their revelations would stop at nothing to protect their interests, and Mary and her allies soon found themselves facing threats and intimidation. One night, as Mary returned to her quarters, she discovered a chilling message scrawled on the wall. "Leave this alone or face the consequences." The words were a stark reminder of the risks they were taking, and for a moment, fear gripped her heart. But Mary was not one to be easily deterred. She knew that their mission was just, and that the future of the church depended on their perseverance. With renewed determination, she gathered her allies and shared the message with them. "We cannot let fear control us," she declared, her voice filled with resolve. "Our faith is stronger than any threat, and our cause is righteous. We must continue our work no matter the cost." The group nodded in agreement, their faces set with determination. They knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but they also knew that they were guided by a higher purpose. Together, they would face whatever came their way, bound by their unwavering faith and commitment to the truth. As the storm clouds gathered on the horizon, Sister Mary of the Holy Cross and her allies prepared for the trials that lay ahead. Their journey was far from over, and the fate of the church hung in the balance. But they were ready to face the darkness, to uncover the truth, and to lead the way toward a future filled with hope and redemption. And so, with hearts full of courage and faith, they set out once more on their quest, knowing that the light of truth would guide them through the storm and into a new dawn for the church.